So I wanted to make a video about and record audio about my experience when I was a little kid. I was probably like 9 or 10, and something that happened at church. Like I said, I am pagan right now. I got into being pagan when I was growing up and everything. Or I'm sorry, not when I was growing up, but when I was in college. But when I grew up, when I was growing up, I was very involved with the church. I usually went to church twice a week, maybe on Sunday mornings, and then on Wednesday evenings. And so basically, I'm going to kind of tell you a story that happened when I was probably like 10 or 11. So my mom and I go one night to church, and it wasn't a Sunday morning. It was after school. It was like on a Wednesday night. And we went to a really, really big church about maybe 5 miles north of where we were living at. And it was a really big church. There were probably about 500 people that went to that church probably every Sunday morning. And we got outside, our usual Wednesday night, and we hadn't heard anything otherwise. And there were probably about, and we, arrived a little bit late, and church wasn't in session. And there were probably about 100 people standing outside, and that was really weird because, the service was already supposed to have started by then, and then not only was their service not performing, but there were people looked really worried, and the pastor was out, and everything. So my mom and I went, and we probably stayed about an hour to figure out, what had happened. And then of course we were asking around. We said, well, it's Wednesday night and we're supposed to go to our church service, and what is going on? And we ended up finding out, I don't know whether it was through the pastor or whether it was some, through friends or whatever, who it was through, but we found out that somebody had called into the church and said that they were planning bombs that night, and I don't know really the whole outcome of the situation. I know that at the time that we arrived, there were dogs or bomb sniffing dogs in the church. And I don't know whether somebody actually put bombs in there. I don't know whether somebody just called that to be mean and to just scare people. Maybe somebody had a problem with God or something like that, and maybe they just called to scare everybody. But anyway, I was pretty young when it happened. I was probably about 10 or 11, and I just want to make a video and audio, and I just kind of wanted to, like I said, I grew up when I was being raised, and when I was a kid, I was a really strict Christian. I liked going to church a couple times a week. So I just kind of wanted to share, my experience of when I was a little kid. I did have a very bad experience because my mom and I were trying to go to church one night, and we couldn't because the church service that we were going to go to, it was canceled because somebody threatened to blow up our church.